All right. So what I wanted to say, like I said, I can't believe Christmas is next week already and that it's going to be 2016 and just before we know it, it blows my mind. But I just wanted to make some time because time goes so fast to just get to see all of your faces and to kind of just hear what your plans are for next year and share my plans for next year and just kind of reflect on what I've learned over my almost second full year coaching, because I like to fail first and share my failures with you guys so that you guys don't have to do the same dumb mistakes I did. But yeah, we all learn together, and I want to try to fail first so you guys don't have to. But you might have seen it already. I posted it in the team page. If you have not made a vision board yet for 2016, do it now. I used to be, I feel like a hypocrite talking about this kind of stuff sometimes because I used to think these vision boards and this PD and all this stuff was a bunch of hogwash, and now I'm like the biggest believer in it because I realized like how much it changed my life in the last almost 2 years now. But I remember making my 2015 vision board last year, and I put some things on there where I was just like, these would be really sweet if they came true, but I was thinking in my head negatively that it wasn't going to happen. And I pulled it up today and every single freaking thing on there came true. Everything. I was blown away at how that was possible. But you can't just put hairy, scary goals on a picture and be like, yeah, I hope they come true, and, shove it in a folder and never look at it again. I put that on my desktop and I reverse engineered every single one. So I made sure to kind of use that as a tool to guide my actions every single month. And I kind of forgot that that was my end goal because I had just made smaller goals off of that picture. And like I said, I hadn't looked at that picture in a long time. But I had little things in my planner every month that I was working towards. And I didn't even realize it at the time. But as me working towards those smaller goals is what allowed me to make sure all those things came true on that picture. So I would love if you guys shared your vision boards in the post because I'm loving the ones that people have shared so far. I'm like, those are amazing. But like, you have to dream bigger than that, or, try thinking about it this way instead of that way. I'd love to give feedback or really push you outside your comfort zone to let you realize what's possible. I'm not going to let you shoot for a goal that's too big, but the fun part is there's no goal that's too big. I have every ounce of confidence that every single one of you can reach some big, crazy goals this year. So do that. And the reason that I think vision boards and PD and all that stuff that I used to think was a bunch of bogus, hogwash before works is because with businesses like this and any big goals in life, you have to have a purpose and a vision to make sure those things come true. You can't just have one or the other. You have to have both. And so I like the vision boards because they take your purpose and your why, like what's driving you, and they put it into a vision so you can see what you're working towards. You have to take time if you don't know what to put on your vision board. Take time to think about why you're doing this. Why do you need this to work? What don't you like about your current situation that you know that this opportunity can change? Why do you want this to work, and what do you see happening in your life when this does work? Learn from my mistake and don't sit there and make a vision board and be like, yeah, this would be fun, but it's probably not going to happen. Take that negative verbiage out of there and make that image knowing that it will happen. But I made up some tips tonight for new coaches and Emerald coaches to focus on just to kind of enter into this new year with a strong foundation. So if you guys have a paper and pen, that would be great. But otherwise, I kind of number down. I like lists. So the first one is to be a student. What I mean by that is you always have to be learning, especially when you're new. And this is all a bunch of overwhelming, information at first. but I used to not send people to the news and training tab and the New Coach Academy tab in the online office because it used to be a big mess. It was super unorganized. Videos were all over the place, but over this last year, they relaunched that feature, and it's super amazing. It's broken down into what level coach you are. It walks you through great videos and great tools and great tips. So if you haven't looked there yet, that's a great resource. There's also the 7-day quick start guide that I really like for those of you that want to sprint forward. That's in our Fit Forward Files New Coach resources folder. You also have our New Coach emails for our team, our New Coach mentorship groups, our Emerald groups. So all those are great resources, but what I want you to remember and take away from this is don't let the I have to learn it all mentality get in the way of you getting started and moving forward, because so many people sit here and they're like watching hours and hours of YouTube videos and digging into all these different things, which is great. I love a person that wants to soak up everything, but you have to get started too. I actually made my first post on social media before I even got my challenge pack in the mail, before I ever tried a sip of Shakeology, before I ever even did a Beachbody workout in my life. And people wonder, like, well, how did you do that then? You know, like if you didn't know what you were talking about. I used testimonies that my coach, Brandy, had provided in her team page. So scripts that she provided, before and afters that people volunteered to share. And we have all those resources in Fit Forward too. So if that's you and you don't have a transformation yet or things like that, you can feel free to use those. But I just shared what I believed the products could do for me. Same thing I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. You have to share what you believe this opportunity can do for you. Even if you have not yet reached those goals, you have to tell people what you're planning on it doing for your life so they can think about how it would help their life too. Number 2 is to lay a foundation. This comes with every single social media post you make. If you have not done so yet, after this call, I highly encourage you to go to your social media platform of choice, whether it's Instagram, a like page, your Facebook profile, whatever it is, and go through your last 30 days of posts. And do this with a very, very, open mindset and able to kind of grade yourself and give yourself really raw feedback. And think, if you did not know who you were, would you know what you did as a coach? Would you know what Shakeology is? Would you know what a challenge group was? Would you know what fitness programs we offer? And would you know what you like, because the most important thing is sharing you and sharing what you like to do and sharing who you are, because like attracts like. So kind of give yourself a little report card on that and to gauge kind of where you're at with how you're posting. Because those posts will lay that foundation for who you're going to attract. Your social media platforms are your storefront windows. So make people walk by your storefront and stop to look and not just walk right on by. Every single post that you make is a little breadcrumb of little bits of information that's going to get planted in people in your audience's heads and start thinking and get their wheels turning about what you do and be intrigued, so that when they feel ready, they're going to jump at a help wanted ad or a call to action post. So if you don't feel strong in social media, or you kind of feel lost or lackluster, like your posts don't have any reason, rhyme or reason or storytelling, ask your upline to give you feedback. But first and foremost, just get out there and start posting. Get that affinity up. Get your Facebook profile public. And really try to step back and tell a story with your posts. Kind of treat it like a storybook. And then number 3 is set goals. And I mean big, big, big goals. Like, not I'm going to be Emerald by February 2016 kind of crap. Like, set big goals. And I want you to share these goals with your audience. And that was the biggest mistake I made, was I didn't share at first, and I still don't do a very good job at it as much as I should, what goals you're working towards in your business. Again, like I said a little bit earlier, that helps your audience get their wheels turning about, okay, for example, if I shared, for 2016, one of my biggest goals is to save up enough money to, I don't know, put a down payment on a cabin or something like that. Then they might be thinking that they want a cabin someday too. And they're like, oh, that would be a great way to save up for that. Or, gets their wheels turning, whether you're saving for a college fund for your kid or a vacation or whatever. Share all those things, because you never know who's going to spark that. Oh yeah, maybe I should just start that. And if it can earn my family a free vacation, great. So share those goals with your audience. And just like when we share before and afters of what programs can do for people, sharing your goals is kind of like sharing a before and after of what this business can do for people, if that makes more sense. So I want you to set your very, very biggest goals, the ones that you never thought you could achieve. And then I want you to put those on your vision board. And then from there, make small stepping stone goals. From that, break it down to help you lead up over the year to those big goals. For example, if you're not Emerald yet, set your goal to be Emerald. Set it for 3 days, 5 days. It doesn't matter. Seriously, Emerald is just getting a friend and a family member, your two biggest supporters, to be like, hey, I got your back in this. If I'm going to help you get started, I'm behind you 100%. Let's do this. Emerald is a huge accomplishment, but I want you all to know that it should be used as a stepping stone to launch you forward. Don't hit Emerald and stop there. Emerald is the best tool to show your audience that you're moving forward. And don't just use that post by your upline as all you're doing to let your audience know you hit Emerald. Talk about yourself. You don't even have to use Emerald terminology, but talk yourself about your team, like how you have a team now, how you're a leader, how you earned your first promotion, how you're in the top X% of the company now. Use that type of verbiage to show your audience that you're moving forward, because the more you share with them that you are taking this team somewhere, the more they're going to believe that they want to get behind you and they want to jump on board with you. I want you guys to just remember that that Emerald is a stepping stone, and not only use it to inspire your followers, but use it to inspire your team too, to show your coaches that Emerald is so possible. Emerald is the first thing you should do, the first goal you should set, and it moves you closer to Diamond and closer to leadership. Emerald should be your green light to sprint forward. If you're already Emerald, then set your sights on Diamond if they aren't already. I know a lot of people get super scared about Diamond and they kind of like back up and are afraid to set big goals to hitting Diamond. But I want you guys to think about it this way. So if you've ever sold 12 challenge packs, you should be Diamond. Because those 12 people could sign up as discount coaches and you could have built yourself right there to Diamond. So start thinking about it in a more realistic way to get your brain to be like, yeah, that's not that bad. Like I could totally do that. So I want you guys to start thinking about your goals in more realistic ways. Take out all the negative thoughts that you had towards reaching Diamond and 2-star and 5-star and all these bigger goals I want you guys to set for this year. You don't need to wait for business coaches to make it happen. Like I said, if you've sold 12 challenge packs, you could have made yourself Diamond by now. The more that you make it happen, the more that people are going to follow. And that comes from your coaches that you already have, maybe turning discount coaches into business coaches, but your audience as well. They're going to watch you hustle and they're going to realize that they can do it too. The more people that see you succeed and move up, obviously, the more people that are going to believe that this is real. Never forget, too, that the type of coach that you portray and that you represent on social media is the exact type of coach that you're going to attract. If you attract a coach or if you're starting to post about, how or you just don't post at all, then you're not going to get a business coach. People are all the time like, I can't find business coaches. I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, are you asking people to join you? Are you telling them how freaking cool your team is? You know, are you talking about all of your coaches that you have under you that you love and adore and you love doing this business with? No, then why do they want, you know, like, take that real gut check, look at your social media and figure out, you know, if you didn't know you, what would you be attracting based on your posts? So I want you guys to, oh, and one more thing. If you have not made a team name yet, do it tonight. Like, for sure by 2016, I want you guys all to have a team name. Even dream bigger. Dream about a symbol or a team logo and team colors. Like, start doing all that and talking about your team name, even if you have 0 people on your team right now. Talk about your goals of where you're going to bring that team. So challenge yourself to really talk future tense. So like, when I become a 2-star coach and when my team hits top 50 in 2016, I want you alongside. Are you ready to join me? You know, make your help wanted ads talk about what a baller team you have. Number 4 is be forgiving. So you as a new coach, an emerald coach, whether you're a veteran who's starting over, I don't care, you will fail. I fail more now than I did in the beginning. Maybe I just realize it more now. I don't know. Because I was looking back at my first post and I was like, oh my gosh, I was so embarrassed. I wanted to go delete them all because I felt like such a moron. But you know, like, you guys have to go through that awkward, somebody on one called it the middle school phase of, you know, that growing pains of like, what am I doing here? Like, your posts are going to be awkward and your wording's going to be awkward, but you just got to get through it to know your rhythm and to know kind of what you're doing. But be forgiving. And that's all I want. I want you guys to fail as much as you can in 2016, because that means you're trying new things, you're moving forward, you're using those failures to teach your team and your customers what not to do. Like I said, I make it my goal to fail first so I can share those failures with you guys so you guys can maybe not fail the same way I did. Use those failures to modify and tweak things to make them better for the next time around, and give yourself grace and just fail forward. Number 5 is be patient. So the biggest challenge for everyone on this call and in this kind of grouping of coach levels is patience. And laying a foundation and building your audience trust takes time and consistency. If you stop posting about what you do, people will stop thinking about it. And I always ask people, give me 1 year. Give me 1 year of consistency, 1 year of hard work. And I promise you, like, if you have not reached a goal that you really needed to make this work, then walk away. But the catch is that 1 year can't be you working for 2 months and then stopping for 2 months, working for 3 months, stopping for a month. It has to be 1 year of every single day. The moment you step away and you don't show up, your year starts over, because it's 1 year of every single day that will, honest to God, change your life. Like, I know every single person on this call, if you show up every single day, and if you don't know what to do when you show up, I'll tell you what to do. Just ask, you know? And this got me thinking on a Zoom call with our leaders the other day. One of the coaches, Allison Curtis, she's an amazing leader, and she kind of had given her challengers, she did a money-back guarantee sort of thing. So she said, you know, join my 30-day challenge, and if you don't do these 5 things every day for 30 days and see results, I will give you your money back. So they had to do all of those things, like, you know, whatever it was, post in the group page, do your workout, drink your shake, and prove that they were doing those things every day for 30 days before they got their money back. Not one person asked for their money back, because every single person saw results. It's the same thing. If you want that extra accountability, if you need that kick in the ass, tell your coach. If somebody asks me, I'll tell you what you need to do for 30 days. And if you actually do them, I can guarantee you will move forward in your business. So if you just need a little extra guidance, reach out to your upline, post and fit forward, ask for a success partner, you know, like, take that initiative to get going. But don't sit there and be patient, not doing anything. Be patient while you're planting those seeds is what I want you guys all to do. Be patient while you hustle, because when you're hustling at first, it feels like you are on one of those, I don't know what they're called, one of those hamster wheels, and you're just going and going and going and going, and you're busting it every single day, and you're just not getting anywhere. But all of a sudden, you're going to get off that wheel, and you're going to freaking sprint past a finish line, and it's going to feel so good when it finally clicks and it finally goes. But what happens when you stop and you're on a hamster wheel? You fall off, and then you're gonna have to get back on. So I don't want you guys to do that. I don't want any more starting over. Just set a goal and go for it. I always use my doubters and my haters as motivation to kind of to keep going. Like I in the beginning used it to post. I didn't want to post on social media every day because I was so afraid and worried about what people would think. But I had to remind myself that I was doing this, I used their motivation. I have to show up every day to show them that I'm not going to jump off this bandwagon. I'm not going to just throw in the towel. Like, I'm going to make this work. So whatever you have to do to fuel that fire, find it and do it to show up every day. Number 6 is create a system. So you have to run by a system with this business, and you have to do that and treat it like a career and not a hobby. For example, I like to knit and sew and do all sorts of dorky grandma-like things, but those are all hobbies of mine. So I don't schedule time to sit and knit or schedule time to sit and sew. I'll occasionally sit down with a pattern and I will finish that pattern and I'll create an awesome product, but it's more on my own time and just whenever I feel like it versus structured time doing those things and planning to finish a pattern. So that's how a lot of people run this business. They create a post whenever they feel like it. They'll do a couple things here and there, and then they'll do a couple things here and there, send a couple messages, listen to a video, and then maybe not pick up your knitting needles for a while and be like, oh, what am I doing? And be all rusty again, and then they'll get back into it, and then they'll stop. That's treating this business like a hobby. That's not going to get you anywhere. You get the picture. That doesn't set you up for success. Now, look at a full-time job, for example. You have scheduled days to show up to work. You have scheduled days or times to clock in. You have people you have to report to. You have deadlines you have to meet. You have relationships you have to maintain. So instead of running your business like a hobby, run it like a full-time career. And the beauty of this business, though, is running it like a career is that you get to set those hours and you get to set those deadlines. I'm not going to lie to you. When I first got started, I worked this business harder than I worked my full-time nursing job. I put every ounce of everything I had in this because I wanted it so badly to meet my goal. I wanted so badly to make 6 figures and be able to cut back at the hospital. I wanted so badly just to do it, just to prove that I could do it and to prove that this really was real. So I put in all the work, but now I'm able to put in half the work and earn more and benefit more and reap those benefits of the flexibility of this opportunity. So look at your schedule, talk with your family, pick times that work for your family and your routine that you can step away for 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day, whatever you have, uninterrupted, and work from a focused list. Don't be like, okay, yeah, hubby's going to watch the kid, or I have a break at school, I'm going to go to the coffee shop and work, and then sit and freaking scroll on Facebook. It's not going to get you anywhere. You have to sit at that time with a list and work of the things that are going to move you forward. So I made the mistake, again, I'll share with you guys, learn from my mistake. I had this notebook full of all these things I wanted to do. I wanted this website. I wanted a blog. I wanted a like page. I wanted all this fancy, cool stuff. I wanted this auto emailer to email all my customers and my leads. And I tried to do them all, and I failed in every single one. And I wasted time trying to do all those things when I should have just been doing what works in the basics and put my posts and my messages and my relationships with people. So I kind of just made a little bit of a blurb of what I would suggest to focus on, your focus list for new coaches and then Emerald coaches. So new coaches, your first and foremost thing is your social media post. Do that review for yourself. Make a surplus of posts And then use Buffer to schedule them out at high social media times and great times to post that get good traction. And then when you kind of create all those posts and then you put them together, you're able to put them together like a story so that your audience is going to be led up and intrigued and kind of brought up to this plateau. So then when you do a call to action post, they're going to be like, yeah, I want to jump on that. Pick a date to run a free group and a date to run a challenge group, and do these. I suggest doing them at the same day every single month so that your audience knows what to expect. And it's also easier for you to plan your posts around that when you always know what's going on each month. Start to share your fitness program that you're doing. Start to share your results. Start to share your favorite things about Shakeology. Start talking about your team. But don't, like I said earlier, don't lose sight of posting about you. You have to share who you are. So if you haven't yet, pick 3 to 5 things that you really want to represent as a coach and what you want your team to represent and who you are. So your posts about you should let people know, like, oh, she likes to knit. Oh, she likes to do house projects. Oh, she likes to garden. Oh, whatever it is. But so then you attract people that have common interests. So then those relationships that you're building are genuine because you're going to attract people that are interested in what you're interested in. And then share your journey with your fitness program and with the business. And just remember, people want a real life testimonial from you. So, and then the other couple things is just make a little bit of time for some trainings if you haven't done the new coach training stuff, and make time to start getting comfortable messaging people and utilize that scripts document if you haven't done that yet. So those are my tips for new coaches to what to focus on. Emerald coaches, all the same as above with the social media and the scheduling and all that, kind of create a routine for yourself. But now you're going to add in making time to work with your coaches to help them get started right. Get them involved in push groups and then new coach mentorship groups. Make time to post about your coaches on your social media, kind of lift them up. And let people know that you're leading a team and that you're moving forward. Make time to message people and ask them to join you, and tell them that your team is going to be a top 50 team in 2016. Tell them where you're going. Tell them why now is a great time to get on board before you guys explode. You know, why wouldn't somebody want to jump on board and kind of get the benefit of all that volume growth that we're going to do in this next year? And then as a new coach, you follow tons of other coaches for inspiration and ideas. And now as an Emerald coach, you want to start following less coaches and following more of your potentials. So, you know what to do now. So step back from just being like, oh, Lindsay Matway does this, and oh, so-and-so does this, and figure out what you're going to do. And follow your followers and really plug your time into them and building those relationships with them and connections with them. And then for any level coach, I loved the example, I think I shared it in our team page, Chelsea Pearson. She's another amazing coach. She shared a little blurb about why she started on Instagram because she was afraid of what people were going to think about her on Facebook. So she started on Instagram because it was like a separate place from her family critiquing her and all that stuff. And she didn't know anybody over there, so she just started talking about, she's like, nobody would ask me, but I would say that they would ask me. I'd be like, so many people have been asking me about the ingredients in Shakeology, and, I would love to tell you more and make a post about that. And then her next one would be like, so many people have been asking me about Max 30, and so many people have been asking me about whatever. Even though nobody was asking her, it was making her look like a person of authority and a person of, a go-to person about all these different topics. And she said it built her trust so much because, not that she was lying, because she knows a lot about those things, but it drew people to her, if that makes sense. And just like we talk about in our challenge groups, I have 2 spots left. Of course, we're going to take 5 people, but you talk about it like to give some sense of importance and urgency. So make yourself seen as a leader and a knowledgeable resource. And then remember, public posts plant the seed, personal invites water them, okay? Any farmer will tell you it takes at least for any seed 75 to 90 days to germinate. So what do you think a farmer does? Do you think a farmer sits, plants those seeds and then looks at it and stares at it and waters it over and over and over multiple times a day. No, they're patient and they wait for it to grow. So don't plant a seed and then be like, are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? Why isn't this person joining me? Why isn't this person interested? Just let it go. Just let that seed be planted. And if you're doing your job on social media and you are representing what you want to represent, that seed will be watered. That's you watering that seed. You nurture your seeds by letting them watch you. Don't drown your seeds. Be patient and put your trust in your posts to do the work, and that's all you need to do. And following up, but just not too much. You don't want to drown them, remember. So I just want you guys to remember that you have the power and the job with this opportunity to instill belief in other people. Like, that's the coolest job you could ever have. So I want you all to remember that anyone and everyone can make this happen, and we are all given the tools we all need to succeed with, like I said, YouTube, our online offices, everything. So now it's up to you to make it happen. So you have to decide what you want to do with your blank slate in 2016. So that's kind of my little soapbox for what I would love you guys to all kind of just keep in your heads for this next year. We have about 7 minutes left. If anybody wants to use the chat feature or just unmute yourself and ask, go right ahead if you need some help brainstorming or reverse engineering or whatever. Don't be shy.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, everyone.
Hey.
This is kind of a silly question, but how did you come up with your team? Like, how did you come up with Fit Forward? Like, I've been actually thinking about coming up with a team name, and I don't even know where to start or how to start. Or
it's super kind of random. I have 2 home care patients that I see and that I take care of. I've been seeing them for almost 6 years now, and I was telling them, you know, like, you guys want to help me think of a team name? And we were kind of just shooting ideas around, and some were so silly and whatever. And I was like, I want to do something off of, like, since it's at-home workout, something off of the symbols of, you know, play, fast forward, whatever. And that's what the 2 little arrows are. They're supposed to be like fast forward, like for home videos. And I was telling them that, and they're like, how about fast forward fitness? And I was like, I don't know. And then I was just like, then we kind of just said Fit Forward, and it stuck. But there's no names that you have to approve of. That's a great question that somebody actually just asked. There's no lists or anything like that. My only suggestion is, you know, if you really want to get technical, you could go on whatever state you live in, Business Bureau, because when I got my LLC or my business title for my whatever business accounts, I had to make sure that Fit Forward wasn't taken with the state of Minnesota. If for whatever reason your team name was already taken, you can just do your LLC, your name, and that would be fine. But as far as Beachbody is concerned, there's no like list that you have to go by to get approved.
Okay, cool.
Great question. Anybody else?
Hi, I'm Sobea. I wanted to know how do I figure out how to get leads off of teambeachbody.com?
How to get leads?
Yep.
That recently just changed this last year. You used to get free leads as a Emerald, and by hitting Success Club 5, they tweaked a couple things, and you get more leads by hitting Success Club 10. I'm going to refer you to go to FAQ in your Coach Online office. Do you know how to find that? The FAQ?
Is it at the very bottom?
Yep, the little gray letters, FAQ. And then in the search bar, put in free leads. It'll tell you every single thing you need to know about obtaining free leads. A question on the chat was resources on how to learn how to figure out how to reverse engineer your goals related to income. And this was hard for me at first, but till I really clicked with how the cycle bonuses work and all that jazz. But there's 2 ways. So as an Emerald coach, you start earning cycle bonuses, and that's where I get 90% of my income now. and every cycle is based off of volume. So I can kind of make a file. I don't want to waste our time on here on how to do that, but you're going to reverse engineer based on your volume to learn how many, like, let's say I want to make $1,000 a week, and I want 500 of that to come from my cycle bonuses, and the rest I'm going to do from my challenge pack sales. I'll show you how to convert that volume, so you can look at your My Business, My Volume tab and see where you're at. But then as far as figuring out how much income you need to sell based on challenge packs, you just kind of average. I get about $35, $40 per challenge pack I sell. So if I want to make $400 a week, divide that out, and how many challenge packs do you got to sell to make that? But as far as the volume goes, I'll show you how to do that. Just making a note for myself. Any other good questions?
Hi, Susan here, and I seem to have the most interest in my challenge groups, my free challenge groups, from people who have the least interest in Beachbody, and more specifically, like their own routines, or don't even like Beachbody, but they want support from me and like the challenge groups. What do you think is the best way to handle that?
Well, that's a kind of a hard one. Like, free groups are free groups, and they're great for whatever. You can kind of let anybody to join and anybody in there. But as far as my paid groups, I obviously don't let anybody in there until they purchase a challenge pack. And you really have to just be firm, especially when you're getting started. Show your value. Like I was saying in the call a little bit earlier, show your value and what you're worth, and teach these people what they're going to get from you. And if they're against I was against Beachbody. I was against home workouts. I thought they were the biggest joke ever. And, like, share people's experiences of that, like, share what you thought about it before you got started. Share maybe your hesitations and what you thought was different, and what maybe proved you those thoughts wrong. Or I guess I'd need to know more about what they didn't like to kind of help you. Feel free to message me. I'm more than happy. Or post in Fit Forward. There's going to be tons of people that'll give you great advice on that. But my biggest thing is just put your foot down and show the value that you have in a coach, and them that they have as you as their coach, like what you're going to do for them and why they need to be in your group, and how they can't be in your group if they don't invest in your services.
Okay, thanks.
Would you recommend posting over the holiday? Yes, always post, no matter what. I would not post a bunch of business posts right around the holidays. Holidays, you have to remember, we are coaches to have flexibility to spend more time with our family. So make sure your posts reflect that. But you never want to not post. Always post every day, but keep your business posts. I would maybe focus more on personal messaging around this time and stuff like that. But definitely don't be running ads on Christmas Eve or, stuff like that. But never miss a day, no matter what it is. All right, guys, we're going to get cut off. Thank you so much. If you guys have any more questions, post them in that thread. I'll be there after the diamond call to answer them all, okay? Thanks for your time tonight. It was good to see all your faces.
Thanks, Sarah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.